Hello, I'm Edward O'Leary from Abtrac Time Management and Invoicing Software. Since this webinar is about how Abtrac and 12D Synergy work together, I thought I'd give you a little intro to Abtrac before handing over to James. Abtrac is a cloud-based application used by planners, consulting engineering, land surveying, architectural and other professional services firms around the AEC space. It tracks all the project planning and management requirement for each project and therefore across the whole office and business. Abtrac manages clients, project stages, fees, schedules, timelines and due dates. It also manages variations, sub-consultants, timesheets and disbursements of course, and invoicing. Reporting is through on-screen dashboards and optionally printed reports. It's used in a range of businesses from the proverbial one-man band through to businesses with hundreds of staff. One of the big strengths is Abtrac's invoicing, allowing you to produce a range of invoices in formats that best suit the professional requirements of your firms and of your clients. And at the same time, it preserves the integrity of the actual job costs because the invoicing module doesn't require that you fiddle with timesheet entries, processing adjustments, or fabricating journal entries to obtain the amount you want to bill. And of course, it integrates with a range of other systems, giving your business an enter-at-once integrated suite of packages, so you're in touch with every job and every employee and how everything is tracking. One of the packages we integrate with is 12D Synergy. We've had a relationship with 12D for some years now, and as both Abtrac and 12D Synergy evolve, so does the level of integration between the two systems. I'm pleased to be invited to introduce you to James Irwin from 12D, who will take you on a quick tour through 12D, and in particular he will explain how Abtrac and 12D work together. So over to you, James.
Thanks, Ed. So just to introduce myself, my name's James Irwin. I look after 12D Synergy in New Zealand. I've been working with 12D Synergy since it was first conceived in 2011 and been going strong ever since. So I'm going to take you on a bit of a tour through the 12D Synergy product today, and in particular how that interacts with Abtrac and how that would benefit you. If you do have any questions as I'm going through, please do feel free to type it in the chat box, and I'll leave a bit of time for questions at the end. So getting into it, just a little bit about 12D Solutions. So the company was founded in 1989, so that means we've had almost 30 years experience developing software for the engineering, surveying and construction industries. And our products are currently used in over 70 countries now. So what is 12D Synergy? 12D Synergy is a data management and a project collaboration package for the AEC industry, so architectural, engineering and construction. So what actually is a data management system, you might ask? A data management system is an advanced file management tool to help you track and manage your data. Now typically these systems will focus on single files, but 12D Synergy has the ability to also manage folders of files. 12D Synergy was originally born out of the Christchurch earthquakes. We started development for the stronger Christchurch infrastructure rebuild team. Unfortunately, by the time we had the product ready, SCIRT was too far down the track. But by that time, a couple of engineering and construction companies in New Zealand had seen it and said, well, hey, we've needed something like this for a long time, but there's never been anything that's provided that right scalability or fit. Now, version 4, our next release, which is due in July, and we also have close on 100 organisations running 12D Synergy now, which is really good. So why should you be concerned about data management? As much as your architects, engineers, surveyors, your business is largely about your data and what you're doing on your computer. Now, I'm sure you'll all be backing this up, but it doesn't actually help you manage or find your data. Also, rolling back single files or data sets might be difficult. The other element of 12D Synergy is project collaboration, because it's not just the files, it's also about why it's there, who's been working on it, why they've been doing this, conversations between your team, correspondence from your clients. Also, tracking important information like what versions of what plans got sent out to who, when, where and why. I'm sure you might be keeping different Excel spreadsheets and things to keep track of this, but generally finding this sort of information is quite time consuming and sometimes impossible. So what makes 12D Synergy different? First one is it's very, very easy to use, configure and install. We have a concept called managed folders for many geospatial and engineering applications. It is built specifically for your projects and for the Australian and New Zealand market, and we do work with all file types. So some of the common problems that we're trying to solve with 12D Synergy and these concepts of data management and project collaboration. First one is version control. So I'm sure you've seen things like, hey, my document version 1, or this is the real one. No, actually this is the real one, or draft, Rev A, Rev B, all those kind of great things. Also things like, where did my file go? I'm sure it was here yesterday. Maybe did someone move the folder? Someone accidentally dragged and dropped the folder into the server tree and the whole job folder's gone. What happens when I go out of the office? Do I take a copy of the file? But if I do take a copy, what happens if someone else is changing it when I'm gone? Hey, where is that file I'm meant to be working with again? So this is how 12D Synergy sits in an organization. We have a piece of software that sits on your server. Now, you can access all your data stored in your 12D Synergy server in your local area network using what we call the Synergy client, which you can think of probably a bit like Windows Explorer on steroids for our AEC organization. But we do also offer full remote access. Anywhere you have internet connection and a Synergy client, you can access any of the data on your server that you have permission to see. So this means you might be able to do some work from home, the cafe, the airport, wherever. Also, for people working remotely, we do have the ability to offline data. So I can say, hey, I need to work on this, but I know I'm going to be somewhere that doesn't have internet connection. I can put a lock on that data. I can go out, and then when I come back into internet connection or back into the office, that data can automatically sync back up for me. This is how data gets stored in Synergy. So we work with a concept called a job, and a job is denoted by the blue icon in the tree there. Now, under each job, obviously you can have your standard folder structure, which your staff will be familiar with, but you also have the option to have some collaborative elements under each job. So you'll see there we have a task list, a job team, job forums, and also a transmittal register. When we're working with files in 12D Synergy, we work kind of like a library. When I want to work on something, I check it out to me. What it does is it locks it out to me. Other people can say or see, hey, James is working on this. They can view it, but they can't work over top of it. When I'm finished with it, I check it back in and it pushes it back up to the server. It also creates a new version of the file. So across the life of the file, I can see who's been working on it and what changes they've been making, and that also gives me the ability to roll back to any previous point in time. Because we're taking care of this revision control for you, it means you're not saving copies of the same file. No Rev A, Rev B. So when you're working on a file, you can be confident that you're working off the most up-to-date version of the file. It's also very easy to control different access and visibility rights to your data. For example, you might have a financials folder in every job that only, say, a director has permission to even know exists. We do have plugins for the most commonly used applications, for example, Word, Excel, and Outlook. Using our Word and Excel plugins, you can create templates that can be filled out with information from your job. Also the CAD suite, so managing your XREFs and Word templates. Also, obviously, 12D model. Email management is very important, and hence we offer the ability to manage your emails in 12D Synergy using our Outlook plugin. You can track all job-related correspondence, including incoming and outgoing emails. When you file an email to Synergy, it gets stamped with the job number, and from then, any further correspondence is going to be automatically filed to the corresponding Synergy job. This offers a single place where everyone can see all the correspondence relating to the job. We also have the ability to track document transmittals with our file transmittal register. With our transmittal register, we also offer services called file publishing web drops. Now, often you'll be dealing with large files, and you might be using things like Dropbox or OneDrive to transmit those files. With file publishing, you can create a download link that you can give to your client or stakeholder, and then they can simply download it straight from your server. Not only do you get the record that you've sent out that plan, but you also get the record that has been downloaded on the other end. Vice versa, if you need to receive large information, you can send your stakeholder out a link and they can upload files directly into your Synergy job. 12D Synergy uses custom fields in the system that we call attributes. These attributes can be attached to virtually anything in the system, and this helps you to describe your data in your own way. For example, you might attach attributes on your job, like the job number, the site address, the client details, client contact details, or it might be on a folder or maybe a file. Hey, what revision is this in? What state is it in? Is it in draft? Is it under review? Has it been approved? Who's approved it? Now, the beauty of these attributes is they actually flow throughout the entire system. So things you're entering on your job, like client details, could be used in your standard, for example, client engagement form. Now, if you're thinking some of these fields sound a lot like what you're entering into Abtrac, we can actually monitor your Abtrac database. So job, contact, and company data can be accessed from Abtrac. Whenever a new job gets created in Abtrac, or you change a job in Abtrac, we can monitor those changes and then reflect them in 12D Synergy by, for example, creating a new job and filling out all the client details, or hey, maybe the client details change, we can go and reflect that in 12D Synergy. This means that there's no duplication of your data entry. Your Abtrac fields can get mapped through to 12D Synergy job attributes, as you'll see in the right there. It's a very simple process, just hey, this field in Abtrac is equal to this field in 12D Synergy. From there, the information can be used to say, enter standard information into forms or letters, whatever you'd like to set up. You also have the ability to issue files and documents to your Abtrac contacts. In Synergy, we work with a concept called a job template. So you can define your standard structure that you want on a certain style of job. You can set up different folder structures, different permissions. You can also control the names of jobs and files. For example, if you have some company standard file naming rules, which may or may not get used as well as they should, or maybe they're different between offices or departments, you can actually say, hey, this is how we name these sorts of files in this particular job. Now, having all this data is really good, but it's no good if you can't actually find it. So hence, we've made the searching in Synergy very, very powerful. Not only can you search on the file names, but we also index all the contents of files. So, for example, you can search through the contents of things like emails, PDFs, DWGs. You also have the ability to search on your metadata. For example, show me everything that Junior's been working on with the word estimate in it that they worked on in the last 2 weeks. Or, I'm not quite sure of my job number, but I know the client details, so I want to search on every job that we have for this client. Or maybe I know the site address, so I can type in an address. You also have the ability to search for jobs, contacts, and companies spatially. We provide Esri Map, or base maps are provided by Esri Map, so you can go and search on jobs, companies, and contacts. You also have the ability to add additional layers from things like KML files or shape files. So what that means is you can really clearly see all your jobs in the area. If you've done a job just down the road, you probably want to know about it. You're going to easily see that. You could also search on files in a particular area. For example, you might draw a rectangle on this map and say, show me every dial before you dig report in this area. Synergy does also have a tasking system. So you can use tasks to schedule, track, and drive your projects. They can model your business processes, and you can also associate tasks with anything in the system so people know when they're meant to work on what. You can also set up things like email reminders. Hey, let the planning team know 6 months and 3 months before all the 223s are due to expire. Okay, so that's, I guess, Synergy in a nutshell. Lisa, are you able to tell me if there's been any questions asked in the chat?
Yes, I've got one here I'd like to read out to you at the moment. John in Brisbane asked, does 12D Synergy manage the email attachments as well?
Yes, so obviously when you save an email into 12D Synergy, the attachment will be saved within that email. But using our plugin, we also do have the ability to save attachments separately, because you might want to put it in something like a data received folder. And we also create an association between the email and the attachment. So if you're looking at the attachment, you're thinking, hey, where's this come from? It's always going to be linked back to the email that you received it in, which probably has a brief or some information about where it's come from and who sent it to you.
Sure. Okay. Well, thanks for that, James. I think, yeah, we'll leave the presentation for today. Thank you to everyone for attending, and we hope to see you at some of our other webinars that are coming up soon.
Also, I'd like to say, hey, we've given you a bit of a taster of 12D Synergy, but if anyone is keen on an obligation-free presentation, please do visit our website, 12dsynergy.com. Also has a bunch of really good information and some case studies and blogs and things on there that are really beneficial. So if you're interested in a presentation, please just click the book a demo presentation. We'll be more than welcome to come into your office and give you a bit further rundown.
Well, thanks everyone.
All right.